Okay, so what I have right here is a $500 supposedly all silver coins mystery pack, but I didn't get it from where you would normally expect me to get a mystery pack from, like eBay. I got it from somewhere else. So this mystery pack right here actually came from a local coin shop. Now listen, before you click off, I want to show you the email right here. A couple of weeks ago, a shop reached out to me and asked if they could send me a free mystery pack that they sell on eBay for review. But here's the thing, you and I both know that if I get a free mystery pack from a coin shop expecting a review, it's probably stuffed. It wouldn't actually represent what a regular customer would normally get if they were to buy it themselves. So I politely declined. Now, the shop could have been being completely honest. I don't know that for sure, but through the chat that we had, I decided to go ahead and order from them a $500 mystery pack. Now, here's the thing. I am not going to say the name of the coin shop for the same reason that I wouldn't accept a free one. We don't know if it's been stuffed because they know it's going in front of a video in front of a lot of viewers. So we are still, however, going to open this up and see if I did get my $500 worth of silver like was promised in this box, regardless of whether the shop gets a shout out or not. And just so you know, they won't. So guys, let's get this open. So just so you know, and to be fair to the company that sent it to me, silver is down a bit from when I ordered this. So I actually ordered this and spot was around $88 an ounce, I want to say. Today it is $82.35. I'll put that up on the screen. You can see right here on SD Bullion's website right now on March 5th of 2026. But let's go ahead and get this open and see what we actually have inside. All right, well, inside of the priority mailing box, we have another priority. Oh, this is an express. So these are only supposed to be being used for express shipments. So just keep that in mind if the person that sent, which he likely is, the person that sent this to me is watching. You aren't supposed to use these as packing material, but hey, at least it was sent through USPS through priority. So we'll let it slide, I guess. But let's go ahead and open this up and take a look inside. Okay, so there is a big note in there. Oh wow, it's pretty thick. It actually feels like 2 pages. So we'll pull that out. And it looks like we have a bunch of stuff in here. So guys, we're gonna go ahead and start getting this out and valuing it. And we will start with this. All right, so what this is, guys, is it looks like these are silver. Yeah, because it's in black. Yeah, these are the silver ones. So this is a 5 silver quarter set. Yeah, you can see at the edge. These are your 90% silver. So this is what? 2013. And all of these in 2013 were 90% silver. So what we have right here is $1.25 in face value of 90% silver. Okay, so I got my tablet out so we could go ahead and take some notes. And this is $1.25 face. And if we grab our calculator and take 88 times 0.715, we will get 62.92. We're just gonna call it $63 per dollar. So we're gonna write face value 63, and then we'll take that 63 times 1.25. So right now we already have a value of $78.75. Okay, so the next item in here is, well, it's just a card, but I'm assuming the coin for this is inside of there, and that's going to be a silver $50 because this is the COA for the 1982 Washington $50. I know because I have plenty of them. Let's see if we can feel something that feels like cellophane. This is probably it. Yeah, so here we go. So we have another, so this is another 90% silver. This is a $50. You can see right there, 1982. So this is the first modern commemorative $50. And it was silver, 90% silver, just like these quarters were right here. So $63 per dollar. This is basically just worth the melt value. So you're looking at what, $31.50. All right, the next item on the bag we have looks to be a 1968 40% Kennedy $50. Okay. So 1968, 40% Kennedy $50. I won't bore you with the calculator again, but this has a melt value today of roughly $13. It comes out to exactly $12.98. That being said, if you walk into any coin shop, I'd be blown away if they aren't selling these back of melt. So for that reason, we're gonna call this a $12 coin. All right, let's get our hand in there. Feels like there's a lot of stuff in here. Next up, this is big. This is more cellophane. Oh, okay. So we have a blue Ike. So what these are, and they're called blue Ikes because they come in blue envelopes and they have this blue token with them. This is a 40% silver Eisenhower dollar, uncirculated, not proof. And we just said that the melt value on this was $13. This is the exact same mixture and metal weight, just double. So we have $26 in melt value right here. And because it is in the cellophane with the blue chip, I'm going to say that's probably worth its full value, silver value of 26. Again, I'm not going to give it anything extra just because with silver so high, as we've talked about in my videos so many times, the melt value for a lot of your silver is pretty low today. Like especially 90%, you can actually buy, depending on where you buy it, at below melt. So we're being really fair at melt price, I think. And we're going to be very fair with that at, we'll call it $26. All right, we are definitely not at our $500 just yet, but we do have more coins in the bag, so we are going to do that. But first, we do have a special video sponsor for today's video, so let's go ahead and run that, and then when we get back, we'll find out if I actually got my $500 in value. All right, guys, I want to take a minute to talk about Kootenay Silver, ticker KOOYF, who is sponsoring today's video. One thing that immediately stood out to me about this company is that legendary precious metals investor Eric Sprott owns roughly 4% of it. And if you've been around the precious metal space for any length of time, you already know that Sprott has been involved in the sector for decades. And recently, he actually talked about where he thinks silver could go during this cycle. Now, of course, nobody really knows where silver will ultimately end up, but if there's someone who has spent a lifetime studying the precious metals market, it would be someone like Eric Sprott.
So let's say if the gold price is 4,500, which is near, makes the calculation easy. Silver should be at $300.
Now, again, that's his opinion, not a prediction or guarantee, but it does give you an idea of just how bullish some longtime precious metals investors are on silver right now. And interestingly enough, Sprott himself owns about 4% of Kootenay Silver, which is one of the reasons the company has been getting attention in the silver exploration space. Now, something else worth noting is that back in mid-2025, when silver was roughly half the price that it is today, analysts were already issuing price targets for this company. I'm going to put those on the screen here so you can see them, but the short version is that those targets were significantly higher than where the shares are currently trading today. So it's definitely something investors may want to look into and do some research on it. Now, the company itself has actually been around for about 2 decades, and it currently controls 4 separate silver deposits. Across those projects, they have roughly 223 million ounces of silver equivalent in measured and indicated resources, plus another 111 million ounces inferred, which is a very large resource base for a company of this size. The company is led by CEO James McDonald, who previously helped build Alamos Gold, a company that delivered massive gains during the last major gold bull market in the early 2000s. Another thing that stands out right now is the scale of drilling the company has planned over the next year. I'll throw that graphic up on the screen as well, but the key takeaway is that Kootenay has one of the largest drilling programs planned among silver exploration companies relative to its current market cap. So if you want to learn more about Kootenay Silver, ticker KOOYF, check out the links in the description below. But as always, remember that this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and this is a sponsored segment, so make sure you always do your own research and due diligence, and even seek professional financial advice before making any investment decisions. All right, so let's get to it. It seems like there's a lot more stuff in this bag, and we'll pull out the very next thing. We have, well, it's colorized, but we have a Silver Eagle, 1999 colorized Silver Eagle. All right, this is cool. So we have a full 1 ounce of silver. Here's the thing, Silver Eagles have a very high premium right now. That said, I don't know if a colorized Silver Eagle is going to get that same premium. That said, we are still going to call this like $3 over spot, because you're going to pay $3 over spot for a generic round today anyway, maybe $2 if you get a better shop, plus $3 on that. So we're going to call that $91. That is not bad. That definitely gets us in the right direction, because we were feeling pretty light so far for a $500 bag. All right, next up we have, all right, so we have another, this is another Silver Ike. This is a bicentennial proof. So this is 40% silver, just like the one in the blue Ike. This came out of a set. So this would have been out of a 3-piece coin set that would have had the Ike, the $50, and the quarter. So 40% silver, same exact mixture as this. How it is out of the set, I mean, we're just going to have to call this the same as we did the blue Ike. We'll call it full melt because it is a proof, but it's 26 bucks. All right, let's see what else we have in here. We're starting to move in the right direction. All right, next up we have, we have ourselves a quarter, a barber quarter. Okay. All right, so we have a 1908, is it what, oh, it got out of focus. We have a 1908D barber quarter. All right, so this thing is, it looks like it's not just like super worn, but it's also been kind of cleaned. So barbers tend to get a higher premium. That said, with silver price being where it is, guys, you know, I just have to just be honest. We're going to do 63 divided by 4, so it's going to be like 15... What, like 1575? Am I doing the math right in my head? Yeah, 1575. All right, next up, let's get our hand back in here. It feels like we got a few more things. This one is really light, and that is why. So we have ourselves a mercury dime. 1938 Philly. So we have a 1938 Philly Mercury dime. Seems to be in circulated condition. Still got full rim, but nothing special about this one. I mean, this right here is just a regular Mercury dime that we're going to have to value at roughly $6.30. That is full melt. I'm being very fair and giving full melt values for a lot of this 90 because, you know, it's Mercury dimes, barbers, you know, the 82 here. We got the proof quarters. So I think we're being really fair with the value today. You guys can tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. We'll call that $6.30. All right, next up, hand back into the bag. Feels like we got about 3 items left. Here we go. Next up, we have a Canadian silver dollar. Okay, so we have a 1965 Canada silver dollar. Not bad, not bad. Got some luster to it. It's funny, I actually have the melt weight because I don't have this memorized on my mat here. And so 1967 dollar, 80% silver, 0.6 ounces. So we can just take, you know, spot price at the time was 88 times 0.6. And that comes out to 52.80. But here's the thing about Canadian silver. I mean, this is a nice one. So it has, you know, some really, really good luster to it. But you're not going to, I mean, you can basically buy these for less than melt price. We're going to call this 95% of melt. So at times 0.95, we're going to call this a $50 bill. So still $50. This is the first thing I think we valued less than melt value so far. But still $50. Not bad. We'll add that to the board. All right. Next up, we have a Walking Liberty half dollar. Looks like we got a 1939D. This is heavily circulated. 39D is not a better date. It's common date. Looks like it's had some tape residue on it as well, so it was like taped down into a display. You know what? I have to give this less than melt value as well. 3150 is melt. I'm going to say $30 on that one because of the tape residue on it, so we'll call that a $30 bill. All right, here we go. Next up. Oh, this is... Oh, guys, I hope we're there because this is our final coin. It is heavy, though. We have a 1886 to 1986 Ellis Island 1 ounce silver round. I mean, it's got a cool design on it. You got the World Trade Center on the reverse. Got some ships on the reverse. I've seen this exact round before. So definitely nothing new. But hey, we'll take it. A 1 ounce silver round, you know, value today, spot +2. What would you say earlier? Spot +3. We'll call it spot +3, 91. That is if I were to walk into a coin shop and buy it today. I get that spot price is 88, but we're going to be fair and call it 91 because if I walked in and bought one, that's what we would pay. And that is it. So overall, not bad. We're going to add it up in a second. I was really kind of taken back by the fact that we had a foreign coin. Because I thought this was all going to be US silver, but it's not a bad one. Let's go ahead and tally everything up right here and see what we have. Okay, so I spent some time going through everything, double checking the numbers, and our grand total is $457.30. Now, based on that number, I don't necessarily think my box was stuffed. We are still $43 left on the table here, and that's with me giving a premium to the eagle and to the round, giving a little bit back of spot for 3 items into this box. I think it was these 3 right here. But here's the thing. Even if this was $30 more, I still would have been happier just going in and buying more pure silver like rounds or, you know, discolorized or colorized silver eagles like this. You get the idea. Than getting a bunch of stuff that I didn't necessarily want, like the Canadian piece, the 40%er, you know, the heavily circulated stuff. I didn't really want that. So my money would have been better spent just getting the silver that I want, and I've said that so many times. That said, doing these boxes is fun for the channel, and I'm glad I didn't get hurt too bad. But what do you think? I would really like to know, so let me know with a comment down below. And also, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed if you haven't done so yet. And as always, stack long and stack heavy. We'll see you next time.